Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little bit of a review of the start of the season. It's now October, almost mid-October. Everything is sorted. The leaves are falling. It's not raining, but it's a little bit cool here. And Podgy is hogging all the heat from the little heater underneath the table. Now, lads, can we remember just to recoup or to go back over a few things? Jimmy, you went for whom?
I went for Colmcille.
Colmcille.
And I was within a whisker of being right.
Right.
And all my money down the drain. Gone.
Podgy, you betrayed the home team and went with?
I went with Clongate.
Right. So this means, why are we getting you here for analysis? Because you know nothing about the game. As Joe O'Brien says, they're only bluffers. So why are we getting you here, lads? Because you haven't a clue.
Well, I was second and he was third.
Yeah.
Nobody ever remembers second and third. It's always who's first.
But we did mention Killoe. We never forgot about Killoe.
No, never forgot.
Never forgot about them.
No.
At the end of the day, some of them actually been played down a bit.
Yeah.
Because they were, they had all the experience, Mick.
Yes.
And it showed in the final last Sunday, And but as you made a very good point there, Jimmy, Fergal Sheridan was a serious loss to a team that, they have a nice squad, but he's 6 foot plus, like. You can't afford
does an awful lot of work too.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But the thing, Mick, about us, it's easy to be predictable. But we stuck our neck on the line. We went out there.
Are you looking for a round of applause, Jimmy? Sorry about that, folks. Some people, they're little divas here, and you want to. If you think they're bad in front of the camera, you want to look at them when they're off the camera. The demands they make of management here, it's outrageous.
Didn't even make us a cup of tea.
Lads, the senior final.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts, Podgy?
Senior final, I thought it was a poor first half, to be honest with you now. It was 5 points to 4, and Killoe got a lucky goal. It actually was nearly an own goal. Martin Mulligan was unfortunate that the shot was, I don't think it was going across the face of the goal.
Well, no, Farrell saved it. Pushed it out.
Yeah,
and Martin was coming in and hit off Martin and just went in.
It was, but I'd always give the kicker the benefit of the doubt, and at this stage, Mark Hughes. It was the only score he got, but it was a very crucial score because it left him in front at half time. Second half, much improved, I thought. Better pace to it. Killoe held the upper hand for most of the second half. Missed a couple of goal chances there now, and there was only a point in the end. But I thought Killoe were worth more than that now. That was my opinion. I just thought they were able to just do enough to get by. They done that. The county champions are after winning 7 finals now. The last 7 they competed, they won every single one of them. Well, that's something. I mean, they know exactly how to win and how to win tight games. They proved it again last Sunday.
Jimmy, would you agree with Podgy?
I'd agree. Yeah, you say a poor first half, but like a county final, you're never going to have them coming at each other. They have to weigh each other up and cagey, and that's what it was. I suppose the first half was very tactical, very low scoring compared to previous games in the championship. But finals are there to be won, and as Podgy said, Killoe know how to win them. But a thoroughly enjoyable second half. The goal, nearly all 3 goals were messy. The first one for Killoe was messy. The Colin McCabe's one was a deflection as well, went in, and the second goal for Killoe was a little bit trickled over the line, But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a brilliant final, and it was the 2 best teams going at each other, and there was huge performances everywhere. Although you couldn't say there was a bad player on the team, but I think if Colmcille had Fergal Sheridan there, it's amazing when he's not there, the amount of extra work that Vinnie Hurricane had to do in the middle of the field, and Cathal Riley, and didn't free up Cathal Riley as much, because Fergal does an awful lot of untold work. I was talking to a young lad in Granner today, and he says when you're playing, he says you see the amount of work that Sheridan does, and he was an awful loss, and I thought that was, that swung it. But hats off to Killoe. I know we didn't predict them to win, but you can never rule them out, and who's to say they won't win another few with that team.
So, in terms of going forward now, Killoe now go into the Leinster Championship. How do you think? I know the last time they went into the Leinster Championship, the manager who was
Luke Dempsey.
Luke Dempsey. Luke was saying that the one thing they felt they didn't have was they didn't have power, or they weren't hard enough, and they hadn't got the stamina, and he was working on it that season. How do you think they're going to fare now? They're in against the Meath champions.
Summerhill.
Jimmy.
Well, you're going in against the Meath champions. Meath club football is much more competitive, you'd have to imagine, than Longford club football. And they beat Retort. Paul Galvin managed Retort this year. They beat them by 3 points last Sunday. But as I said in commentary at the end, Summerhill need to watch out. If they think that Killoe are coming and going to be an easy touch, they're wrong. Because I really think Killoe have an awful lot more steel than they had last year, or even the last time they won the championship. They have an awful lot more options off the bench. They have quality players all over. If you look at the starting 15, we were talking off air about Daniel Mimna getting the man of the match. There could have been 4 or 5 other Killoe lads you could have given that to,
And of course, at this stage, they have a huge amount of experience.
Yeah, that'll stand to them as well,
Yeah. We don't know much about Summerhill in terms of their team, but...
No.
Well, we do know that they have Owen McRainer, I think is the lad that plays in Meath.
Right.
And I think he was the top scorer in the Meath Championship this year. And look, any team that goes over Summerhill is going to be hard beaten. You need to go back to the Mick Lyons days. They'll be tough as all boots, these guys. But I think Jimmy Higgins is getting a lot of praise, the manager of Killoe, that Don Ledwell has played a major role in all this. Because Don Ledwell, by nature, was a very tough defender. Took no prisoners, if you don't mind me saying it, Donald. But he was able to raise the people around him, and I think that got into Killoe this year, that they weren't going to be pushed aside, like maybe as they were by St. Lawrence a couple of years ago in the Leinster Championship. But that was a very good Lawrence team now, you must understand.
And they're out of their championship, aren't they?
I
think they were beaten at the weekend.
Well, they probably, I think the team to watch out for there is the Downs, is it?
The Downs are coming. I haven't been following the West
I
Meath,
think the
to be
Downs
honest
beat
with you.
them.
Well, whether they beat them or not, the Downs got to a Leinster Club final, and you'd love to think that we could get another one through to the final, but taking one step at a time, we have to go to Navan, and that's an old graveyard for us, not for football in general. And as Jimmy said, that they might take us a little bit for granted, so we have to do, and they'll do so at their peril, because like Killoe can play better than they did last Sunday. They're a better team than that, and they still won. And the pressure's off them to an extent now, because the people saying, sure, they won't go any further. Somebody's actually said to me, got out of the park last week, they won't do any good in Leinster. But you try and tell them that to the Killoe boys, and for the sake of Longford football, let's hope to do well. And as I say, it won't be easy, but Summerhill are far from unbeatable now.
They have every chance.
So, lads, where do you see Colmcille now in terms of, are they going to lose a few players, or?
I don't think they're going to lose many players. If you look at one of their older ones, Declan Riley, and if Colmcille had won that match, he was going to get man of the match, in my opinion. He was unbelievable. Like, he just made some tackles and covered some ground and everything. But to lose 2 finals in a row, like 3 finals in the last 2 years, 1 draw, lose the replay after extra time, and then lose again, it takes an awful lot out of it. And Pádraig Davis was on co-commentary with me, and he says, when you have a good team, you have to win them. And he commented about Mostrom. When we were good back in the late 80s and early 90s, we only won 1 and lost 5 finals. And Abilara lost 3 finals in a row and won 1. But Killoe are winning them. When he said his team, Pádraig Davis's team, won 4. He says when you got that team,
we the team ourselves.
He won them.
We kept on winning them.
Yeah, Mullinachta won them. And that's the point he was making. But for Colmcille now, they have won 1, which is no mean feat. But when you got a good team, it'll take an awful lot out of them, and it'll take them a long time to get over it, I'd imagine.
I mean, they were winning the match because they got a 2-pointer, and that 2-pointer didn't go wide, it went over the bar. But they were champions because the final whistle blew.
And it was only a foot wide that last one.
You know what I mean? Some story. You know what I mean? To win it in that dramatic, and particularly in the opening year of the two-pointer, to think that the two-pointer could actually win the county championship. But it didn't turn out that way, and Colmcille, maybe looks as certainly them. They done well in 22, but then they got a penalty in 22 against Mullinock, and
Rory Harton scored that.
Rory Harton scored that, and there was people saying that wasn't a penalty at all. So, but it is what it is. It happens, and you take your chances when they come.
And lads, I wonder now, looking at all the teams then in the championship, there are obviously going to be a few changes. I know in Clongish, Liam and John have stepped down, I think, and I think that's part of a 3-year cycle. It seems like managers go for 3 years if they're going to go, and then they step down or whatever. Any other views or any other changes that you know of?
Well, I suppose it's early days for is there anybody else announced that they were going?
No, I wouldn't be.
I don't know about Frankie Doyle and Abby Lara, but
No, I never heard nothing there now. But
I'm sure Jimmy Higgins is saying in Killoe. Jerry Carberry, I don't know about the other. There's no announcements being made.
Jerry Carberry's done a serious job at Colmcille now, so I don't think that he'd stay on. Nice chap as well. And,
I'm sure Eugene McCormick has unfinished business the way he was talking the last day.
Because really, that was supposed to be a wide open championship, and in many ways it was, Jimmy. I've been ever in there with this big world, Like there's a lot of young lads still. Their time will come, has to come, because they won 5 minors in a row. This team doesn't win a county championship the next 5, there's something badly wrong. It's not good for Longford football either to see the team with all the best young players. There mightn't be a Paul Barden there or a David Barden, but to have serious amount of talent, and they have to win one. It's simple as.
It doesn't follow on all the time, though. There were other clubs who did very well at underage level as well. And Granard had a great team over the years underage and won several underage, and it didn't transpire into the senior ranks. So it doesn't automatically happen. And in the semi-final against Colmcille in that second half, as you said, there was no Paul Barden or David Barden or to stand up and grab it and say, lads, we got to go. There's leaders. Pádraig Davis made another. He says Killoe have managers on the pitch. I thought it was fierce interesting. He says they have not only a manager on the line, but the managers on the pitch.
Somebody's talking about one man in particular.
Well, there's several of them. Nicky Quinn is one of them, but there are others as well. And Danny Mimlo.
And would they be zonal, like?
Well, but they wouldn't be appointed managers.
Yeah, I know,
but in their mentality.
Yeah.
That the mentality of them is, if something isn't going right, well, we'll sort it out on the pitch. We're not waiting for somebody to tell us what we're doing wrong. Take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, look, no matter what the manager tells you in the dressing rooms, if it's not working well, then the ability to change as the game goes on and adapt to what the other, a manager might not always see that.
Just on the Killoe thing again, and it might just something I might forget. It was some weekend for them to win the Junior A and Junior C and the Senior Championship with 3 different teams. That's a serious achievement.
Unreal.
You know what I mean? Like to win 3 different championships, regardless of the grade of C. Like they're all part of it now. They go down as the team, a member of the team that won 3 championships.
Like you look at the Junior C, 33 on the list there, 33 players.
They're catering for everybody that plays football out there. Maybe every club aren't doing that. You like to think that they are. I just don't know about it this year, Jimmy.
We don't have the numbers, and it seems the town teams don't have the numbers, but
we're struggling ourselves.
The rural teams seem to be.
As I say, that line, of course, in many ways, Brian's pointing for a lot of the underdogs. For what they done, like they got to the semi-final, first time in 23 years. And they actually went in the semi-final believing they could win. They done their best. They weren't good enough, simple as.
And do you see potential for them to improve, or?
The potential is always there, I suppose, to improve. Like they probably.
But the way you're saying, Clongish are a young team. They're eventually going to cross the line. At least that's the consensus among a lot of people. Would
Rathline have good underage teams coming through as well? The Western Gales they did well this year as well, and under 16 levels they did well. So they have players coming through, and I suppose they have a bit of momentum behind them now. A few quarterfinals, one better this year to a semi-final. Garrett Johnson is a great manager there with them, so they have the potential, but You know, when you're looking at the likes of Killoe and Colmcille and you know, it's very hard.
Hard beaten, like, you know, even they're going to be hard beaten again. Then the same three you're talking about are going to be very hard beaten again next year.
Yeah.
No matter how hard Clongees try, you're still going to have to beat them three.
That's it, you know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it ain't easy, like, you know. So other than that, now I'm afraid there's a few of them after falling down pecking order.
Ah, yeah.
You
Hard,
know, for all Legends has gone now to intermediate. I think
Yeah.
it's the first time since
1967 was the last time we were intermediate. Won the intermediate in 67 and haven't been down since. But then you've Ardhamaido coming up, and it's going to be a huge battle for them.
It is going to be a huge battle for and then fair play to them because they were kind of written off after losing to Killoe. But I saw them getting Conleys when they had to win, and I have to say I was impressed by them. I said this team will be hard beaten because they have the forwards.
Killoe were very disappointed. They were very disappointed.
Never played now.
No.
And, they have an opportunity now to have the consolation, and it's a good consolation. They're playing in the Leinster Junior Club Championship. But they're an intermediate team playing Leinster, so they should do well. It wouldn't surprise
Is that
me.
because Killoe won the junior?
That's the second string can't take part in the junior. So they went back to what they did before when there was the second string winner.
Yeah.
The runners up in the intermediate.
Right, so that should give them a yeah.
Killoe, I think they're playing some crowd in the first round in a couple of weeks. And Ardhamaido is going to be tougher task. They'll be playing the intermediate champions. I think they're Kilbride.
Oh yeah, they'd be good. Like,
Now Kilbride were a very good team, dominated years ago, and now they're on the way back. You know, so as I say, look, it's all for the future and all for football. You have to. Is the Burns Cups coming back? Or
I don't know if there was a decision made in that.
no, not just yet, but like that's only a challenge tournament. And fortunately, we didn't treat it that way. We treated it like
It was our
All-Ireland, which you can't do that. That tournament was there for trying out young lads and experiment. Every other county was doing it, Barrows.
So I was playing Westmead there a couple of seasons ago in the park, and Westmead had most of their under 21 team out that day.